Hi everyone, welcome back to Trucking with Purpose, and in today's video I want to discuss with you some of the important trends that are going on in our industry right now. And one of them is English proficiency language and how drivers are getting violations for that. Another one is a wave of layoffs happening in transportation industry, in logistics, distribution. And last thing I want to cover with you is some industry trends and we'll take a look how the market is doing from month to month and see where we are right now. So stay tuned. Okay, so the Wyoming Highway Patrol Commercial Driver Division recently shared the top commercial vehicle violations discovered during the inspection in June 2025. And the violation that topped the list is operating a CMV without proof of periodic inspection, so driving your truck without annual inspection. The most common violation discovered in Wyoming in month of June, but not far behind at number 5 of the top 10 violation list was, guess what? The driver cannot satisfy English language proficiency, failed interview, with 66 violations issued only in June in one state. So that means out of 1,366 inspections performed, 66 got violations for English proficiency, and that means 5% of the inspections resulted with violations for not being able to communicate in English language. And as you probably have heard already, starting June 25th of this year, this became an out-of-service violation. So officers actually can put drivers out of service who are not able to properly communicate with a police officer during an inspection. So this is to keep our roads safe and to make sure that drivers are qualified, not just technically to drive a truck, but also they understand, they follow the directions, they follow the signs, they can read the signs, and they do understand what it says there. And in order to avoid being placed out of service, commercial vehicle drivers must demonstrate the ability to read and speak in English sufficiently to have a conversation with the public, to understand the highway traffic signs, and to be able to communicate with the officials. So what it means for the spot market rates. So basically imagine a small fleet that has a driver who is not speaking enough English, who is not talking enough English, and he cannot pass the inspection and he's put out of service. So basically now the broker and the company are stuck. The broker has to cover, and he has to recover the load. He needs to send someone else to recover it. He has to send someone else to repower the trailer, or if a carrier has another driver to send them out there. So, but that means a lot of time and money involved. And imagine in the middle of Wyoming, trying to find a recovery truck. So the rates are gonna be crazy in that area. And I kind of try to take a look, and I've been watching the DAT load board to see if I can find any recovery loads and see what crazy amounts of brokers are ready to pay in order to secure a truck, and how far would they go to find a recovery truck to repower their trailer and deliver the freight to their customers. I haven't seen anything yet, but if you guys heard anything, or if you've seen, or maybe you booked one of those loads, let me know. I'd be really curious to see how much you were able to get for that. And what I'm curious about is what the driver is gonna do, because it's not like a tire violation, it's not a light or weight violation or a logbook violation where you fix the problem, wait 10 hours and you leave. The problem with the drivers, they cannot learn English overnight. So is it meaning that his career is over until at least until he learns more English? Or what's gonna happen to him? Does he have to take a test to be back on the road, like learn some English and take a test? Or yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen, but it's not clear yet. And for carriers, especially for a small fleet owners and for small carriers, for owner operators who maybe are running just 1-2 trucks, having a driver that is not speaking English, enough English. How are they gonna recover the truck? How are they gonna get it home? So that's gonna be really tough. So yeah, I think it's the most it's gonna affect is the small fleets, and it's gonna affect the owner operators. So, but we'll see how it's gonna go. And one thing that just came to my attention was Ryan Transportation Corp is laying off 144 workers in Tucson, Arizona, including over 130 truck drivers. And I think it's gonna be hard for these drivers to find a job right away, because I feel like companies put a hold on hiring, and they're gonna wait to see what's gonna happen. Not sure a lot of companies are adding trucks, equipment, and drivers right now with all the uncertainty that's going on. So over the past several weeks, there have been over 4,000 job cuts announced, including in manufacturing, transportation, distribution, logistics. So we'll see how these are gonna affect the spot market. And talking about the spot market, let's dig into industry trends and see how the market is doing from like a week to week and from month to month. So looking at the spot market loads posting, we see that the week between July 14 and July 20, the number of loads posted fell down by 15%, and the number of truck posted rose by 4%. Then load to truck decreased by 17% for the dry vans, and for flatbed it decreased by almost 20%, and reefer by 23%. That's a huge one for flatbed and for reefer. Looking from month to month, June 2025 comparing to May 2025, van load to truck posting actually increased by 0.1%. Flatbed, listen to this, flatbed decreased by 23%. You guys know what happened between May and June, why flatbed loads posted decreased so much, and reefer loads posted decreased by 3.4% comparing June to May of 2025, which is pretty normal because May and June are the busiest months for dry vans and for reefers. And actually flatbed, I would say it's the season for flatbed as well. Numbers don't look very well. 23% down June comparing to May, and from the week of July 14 to 20th comparing to July 7, 13, the number of flatbed posts decreased by almost 20%. So something is going on with the flatbed, and I'll look into it and see exactly what stands behind that. If you guys have any ideas, let me know, and please share comments. If you have any questions, leave me a comment. I'm gonna read all of them, and so we can discuss it in the future videos. And I hope this information was helpful. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. And please don't forget to subscribe.